So everybody's been talking about the Silent Hill F game that's supposed to be coming out sometime in the future. Konami hasn't given us an official release date just yet, but we do know it's going to be on the PS5, Xbox Series X, and I believe it's supposed to be on Microsoft Windows as well. A lot of people are excited about Silent Hill making its return and the fact that it's definitely going to be one of the most anticipated survival horror video games of this decade. However, a lot of people were not expecting Silent Hill F being banned in Australia. And this is something that has recently been going around on the web as of late, and it has people scratching their heads as to why this is a thing. And and based off of what I know, or at least what I read on Games Radar, there's no real reason as to why the government or the Australian government has decided to ban Silent Hill F. And my guess is because of how graphic and how violent it is. And you got to look at the fact that you have a female protagonist in this game, so we have no idea like what she's going to be subjected to in the game. And um and honestly, like, this is the game, sorry, the setting for the game is supposed to take place sometime in the 1960s, and back in the day when it came to like horror and stuff like that, there was nothing that was really off limits. You can go as far or be as brutal and gory or as violent as you possibly could. And um and I feel like, I don't know. I feel like a game of this nature, I mean, you have to look at this and automatically assume that it's going to be rated M, because there's no way in hell you're going to get a rated T Silent Hill game, or at least a rated T main entry Silent Hill game. Because I looked at the reveal trailer for this game, I can instantly tell it was going to be M rated. And the thing is, I never heard any, backlash or controversy or anything like that about some of the more recent survival horror games that has come out, like Alan Wake 2 from 2023. A lot of people love that game, and I don't think this is going to be anything like remotely similar to, like, Little Nightmares or anything like that. Because for those who don't know, Little Nightmares 3 is supposed to be coming out a little bit later this year, and I think the rating's still pending, but a lot of people are speculating it's going to be a T-rated game. But that's a little bit different because Little Nightmares 2 from 2021 was a T-rated game. It was more of a puzzle platform horror type of video game. And honestly, like, games like that are meant to have like a dark, grim, horror type, aesthetic to it, but it's not expected to be bloody or gory or anything like that. Silent Hill, anybody who's been familiar with the Silent Hill series in the past know that these games induce psychological horror, and it's something that it can mess a lot of people up if they're not, prepared to experience anything that would be anything remotely disturbing or anything remotely resembling something you would see out of a horror movie. And yeah, it's like I read somewhere that for like Silent Hill F to be released in Australia, the game would have to be like modified, and there are certain things that they would have to change to make it work. Because I guess like with certain games, like, and it's not just like Australia, there are certain games where, and this used to be a thing all the time back in the day, like when you had like video games from Japan being brought over to America or localized in America, you had to make certain changes, whether it be like drug use or whether it be blood or what have you. It's something that has been common in gaming. It's something that doesn't really surprise a lot of people. And in this case, I'm not exactly sure what the deal with Australia is. Maybe the government is a little bit more left leaning. Um, America, for the most part, I feel like is slowly going back towards the right, which is why there hasn't really been any backlash in America about Silent Hill F being so bloody or gory or violent or what have you. And and yeah, it's like I have no idea what's going to come of this. and I'm not exactly sure how this is going to affect Konami's overall release. I don't know if it's going to be detrimental to the game's overall sales when it's released, because that's one less country that you have your video game in, or one less market that you have it in. And but like you look at like America and Americans and the type of games that they like. I mean, they eat stuff like this up all the time for like the PlayStation 5, because these type of games are designed to cater to young adults, and it's designed to be attractions on like the PlayStation 5 and stuff like that. But at the same time, there's that argument that Silent Hill F probably might be a game that takes it too far, that goes beyond like psychological horror. And there's been like concerns regarding certain themes in this game regarding like gender discrimination, child abuse, bullying, drug induced hallucinations, torture, graphic violence. And mind you, the main character is a woman. So it's just, I guess, like Australia's a little bit, they're iffy about that. They want to learn more about the game before Konami actually decides to release it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is something I really did not expect. And I honestly feel like it's going to be one of those things where Konami is doing whatever they can to try and like create a buzz, because if like if like the stuff that I just mentioned like are actually in the game, because like I believe it was announced, but at the same time we don't know exactly what to expect. But depending on what we get, there's probably going to be some controversy towards Silent Hill F after it comes out, because back in the day, like when with the Grand Theft Auto games, um, when they first came out, people were stoked about it, but after they released, there was a lot of controversy about the violence and the stereotyping and all that stuff. But at the same time, the controversy is what made the older GTA games popular. It's what helped the older GTA games do well in terms of sales and all that stuff. And I feel like Konami is probably going down that route to attract more attention, but at the same time, it might be like the wrong type of attention. But the thing is, I have no idea exactly what we're going to get until like the full game is released, or until we get actual, like, or at least more gameplay footage for Silent Hill F. But yeah, like the fact that people are talking about Silent Hill again is actually a good thing, because Silent Hill F has not Silent Hill F, but the Silent Hill series in general has been irrelevant for so long, to a point where something like this will have a lot of people wondering what to expect. It raises their interests, and I feel like just because of the anticipation alone, the game is going to sell like wildfire. At least I hope that's going to be the case when it does come out. The only question is, when is it going to come out? Because it doesn't seem like it's going to come out anytime this year. Because if that were the case, Konami probably would have confirmed it by now. And I mean, I'm hoping it comes out sometime in 2026. But I don't know. Nothing's really promised. I want the game to be polished when it comes out. I don't want it to be a broken, buggy mess. But then again, the game was announced back in 2022, so I'm pretty sure that Konami should be towards the end of their developmental phase of this game. At least I hope that's the case. And I think the thing that really makes like Silent Hill F kind of disturbing is not just like the psychological horror stuff, the fact that the main character is actually supposed to be a high school student. So it makes you wonder what she's going to be subjected to in the game and all that stuff. And I don't know, like I guess yeah, this is definitely going to be a game that's geared towards, young adults, but in terms of the actual, content and what to expect, and I don't know, I feel like there's going to be some surprises thrown in there, and I do feel like it's going to be one of those games that's going to have like a lasting impression on many people who play it. But yeah, I mean, Silent Hill F is shaping up to be something that a lot of people are going to be able to like sink their teeth into. I wouldn't be shocked if it's something that is more terrifying than anything I've seen within the past couple of years in relation to survival horror video games. And I feel like this is something different than like what we have seen like within the past decade, because just about everything survival horror that we've seen in the teens decade that achieved like mainstream attention has been like it's been basically like zombie apocalypse survival horror games or shooter games or what have you. I feel like this is something that's different because we don't get too many high profile psychological horror games in this day and age. And I do feel like, Silent Hill F is definitely going to be something that a lot of people are going to want to buy when it comes out.